Hello. Today I want to talk about something that a lot of us dread talking about. Um, a lot of us dread talking about our failure experiences, and luckily for me, I'm at a space where I'm able to talk about such issues because I feel like I have healed and I feel like my story or my experience can benefit someone to encourage them and help them move forward if they are still stuck in their situation. So, the story 2012 was accepted at the University of Zambia as well as CBU. I was both accepted in non-quota, that is like NS for CB for UNZA, and non-quota for CBU. I decided to go to CBU because I had the perception to say, I think CBU is more fun than UNZA, so therefore let me go to CBU. Off I went to CBU, and my intention was to study engineering, and I went through non-quota at CBU. Fortunately, I passed first year, and I was quoted in metallurgical engineering. Second year came, and we wrote exams. Unfortunately, I only managed to pass 3 courses out of the 8 courses that I was required to pass. So I was excluded from university. And that was 2 years down the line. I was on government bursary. I knew I let my parents down at that particular time, and it was so hard for me and my family. Like, we passed through such an emotional stage in our life, and I went back because at that particular time we were staying in Western Province. I went back to Western Province. We had to re-strategize and see what next I would want to do with my life. Suicidal attempts. I don't blame anyone who go through that. Having been through it myself, I understand. Um, I understand that situation very well and what can lead someone to attempt to kill themselves. I had long nights, I had insomnia, where you were raised and you even know that you are a brainiac, and all of a sudden you fail. Things happen, and society talk, and they actually talked. Yeah. So it was just a shameful period, even for me. My mother, I know, went through a lot at church, at her workplace, and I'm a teacher's daughter, so where I come from, that is something of status. When you are a teacher's daughter, you're like, so yeah. So, well, we decided to re-strategize, and I decided to apply for another program. And this time around, I decided to do a humanities course. And me being me, decided to say no. It's either I'm going to do law or I'm going to do economics. These are the only courses that I want to do. if I were to do at UNZA in the School of Humanities, you know. So off I went again to UNZA. I reapplied, they accepted me in 2014, and we started. It was so tough, guys, because at that particular point, you know, that was the intake that my young sisters, um, my young sisters' friends were also accepted at university, and I was literally sharing desks with my young sisters' friends, you know, literally. So I would actually ask notes from them to say like, "Hey, I'm a cow. Go and do this." So yeah, yeah. So I was that soft chewy, you know. Yeah, I enjoyed the the benefits of having little sisters around, and I think I completed in 2018, same year that my young sister completed her university. Yeah, she was at Apex, I was at UNZA. Yeah, and it was really tough because at that particular time it meant that I was supposed to be on self sponsorship, because once they get your bursary, for you to get it back, you really have to fight tooth and nail. Um, Fortunately for me, I performed well in my studies um, at UNZA, and I was awarded a scholarship in my third to fourth year, where this law firm by the name of DLA Piper um, selected a few of us, I think six from our class, to sponsor. And I think it's the reason why I'm here today, because I it took a lot of um, burden, financial burden from us, such that now I could now focus on school entirely. Then I graduated, went to Ziale. Actually, I actually thought maybe I should do my master's first before going to Ziale. But seeing that for masters, it would mean maybe me getting a job in academics, where it's not really guaranteed to say if I graduate, I'll get a job. I decided to do my ZLA first, because obviously, when you're from a not um, so well to do family, your first priority is to settle fast so that you can start, you know, you start relieving your parents of that financial burden. So I went to Ziale, and there was only one way out of Ziale: passing. Because remember, I was on a scholar, I was this on this scholarship, and losing out that opportunity was a no-brainer. You just had to get done with it. So wake up, my day would start as early as 5. I would study a bit up to 7, go to class, come back, study, go for work, just like that, until we wrote exams and we passed. Yeah. So what am I trying to say? Um, Sometimes you feel like when you fail in life, then that is the end of the road. Um, I know this is not a unique experience. A lot of people have gone through university and failed before, but unfortunately, there are people who have let that experience shatter them and decide not to do anything else with their life. Yeah, so you ought to dust yourself, go out there, look at that mountain, and decide to take up that mountain that made you fail in the first place. Yeah.